So the kid in the village was played by Duty Shua, which is Hamid. So good job. So during one scene, Stallone couldn't remember his lines, so the kid corrected him. Apparently, shortly after this, the director was approached by some of Stallone's people who suggested the kid character be killed in the movie.
I finally watched. I finally watched.
I
Finally
watched. I
finally
watched.
I finally watched. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of I Finally Watched. I'm Milan.
And this is David, and today I finally watched Rambo 3.
So, what's so odd about this one is that the very next Rambo after this takes place and is shot like 20 years later.
Yeah.
So some people say that like this is the last good Rambo, or whatever they say. I actually, I held all the Rambo films in such high regard, except for the last one. I've still never seen Last Blood, funny enough. But I held all four Rambo films that I've seen in such high regard. And I remember liking this one a lot as a kid. I've seen the first and second, however many times. And then whenever the fourth one came out, I think I bought the box set and I finally watched the third and I really liked it. Watching it this time, I don't think this one's that good.
I had the exact opposite.
Really? Well, you've never seen this.
Correct. Yeah. So I guess I'm on my first watch still. I think it starts out pretty slow
Mm-hmm.
and fairly poorly. Once he gets to Afghanistan, I think it's a standard, pretty well done for the time action movie. I think it is rated very poorly at the time it came out. And I think that mostly has to do with people thinking like, hey, it's kind of a very sensitive subject, people dying over there, in Afghanistan, Russians, the war going on. Let's maybe not stick Rambo in the middle of that conflict while it's still happening.
Yeah.
Although I guess the war ended by the time the movie premiered.
Oh, because
But
of Rambo.
yes, correct. Yes. That's correct. So
He did blow up that one Russian guy that ended the whole war, so we'll talk about that later. But the thing about this movie, well, actually, the fact that it's not held in such high regard when it came out kind of makes me feel better and less like a snob, because I really wanted to like this movie, and I wanted to like it. Like, I've seen the first one recently, and the second one back when we did the episode on it, and I had those in such high regard, and I still do. I think the first one is such an amazing film,
yes.
and I would say it is the best, like hands down, no argument. It's the best film. But with this movie, Rambo 3, the war in Afghanistan, the pacing is very slow. I think that's a huge issue. For me, it doesn't speed up. It doesn't get better when he goes to Afghanistan. For me, it gets better once he releases his commander out of the POW camp. That's when it like super ramps up for me.
I liked when you meet the Russian guy and he's like, we know Rambo's in the country. We're going to go greet him. I mean, it's a pretty fucking tough scene when the Russians are just gunning people down with warplanes.
Yeah.
And then I like the other guy whose name is escaping me. He's the other
Afghanistan guy, yeah.
Yeah, so we got Musa, who's the guy. I think it's probably Masood is the guy who is like talking to him, maybe, or Hamid, one of them, or Rahim. I don't know. I can't remember.
I thought Rahim was the little boy.
Is Rahim the little boy? That makes sense. Maybe. Anyway, the guy who's like, hey, please don't judge us, because he's like, oh, I'm going to go by myself. He's like, please don't judge us. Give us a chance to talk, which at that point I thought they were going to like double cross him or something, which probably not a thing you can do in this movie. But he's like, don't judge us. And he explains the atrocities that are happening to them and all that.
Didn't the gun shop owner double cross him?
Is that who that guy is? Yeah, and they're pretty subtle about the fact that that guy's just like a traitor.
Yeah.
I watched this in 2 sittings, and
Same.
the movie is a little bit subtle with the fact that that guy's a traitor. It's not like made some big deal of like the Russian being like to Troutman, like, yeah, well, we have our own, double crossers right
I
here,
think
and
it's
like,
literally a shot of him slinking back into the shadows, and that's it.
well, then Troutman kills him. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, I like the part where and then the horse riding the horses and doing the sheep thing with the
Yeah.
throwing the sheep into is it a decapitated sheep? It looks like throwing its
I thought
body.
it was whole sheep, but yeah, okay.
Is
Oh
it
no,
alive?
then you mean the they didn't throw the head. It was decapitated and they had the body. Yes, you
Right.
are correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I like after
The
that.
fun pastime Afghanistan game.
So once he goes to the camp with Musa and the boy, after there's like, I guess from the attack on, it's just an action movie. It's like almost nothing but
It
action.
it literally is, and that's a huge problem I have with it. Is that I felt like it was one of those like Netflix movies where you could like zone out on and then come back to it and be like, oh, and they're still shooting guns.
I don't know. I felt I was pretty like into it.
You were
Like
honed in.
it worked for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was also trying to do my job, so I don't know if you can call this a job, but I was trying to pay attention for purposes of being able to talk about it. I I mean, I guess maybe I had low expectations because of how low it was rated, and I came out thinking like, oh, that was pretty good.
I think my issue is that I remember this movie in such high regard that I was just like, it's not really living up to my nostalgic memory about it. However, I will say, and I mentioned this last time in our other Rambo reviews, is that there's always this one scene in every Rambo movie that just sticks with me. That's like the quintessential like scene of no, I don't want to try that word again. Uh,
I
of
wouldn't. I don't think it
of
gets any better from here.
that was pretty close. Um,
You are.
but no, it's like that one scene per movie. For me, for like the first one, it's where he's like ambushes the guys and like takes them into the bushes and pulls them down to the bush. In the second one, it's where he like covers his entire face in mud and like he, you know which one I'm talking about? He like gets the guy from behind and he opens his eyes and he's like the mud
Yeah.
wall. This one is actually two scenes. It's cauterizing his wound with the gunpowder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I need MythBusters to cover whether you can use gunpowder in that way.
You know what? I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
No, I don't know how they would have.
I think they did. But I thought I had the same thought. And then the second one is, well, there's many parts to this, but it's basically the entire going down into the cave fight.
Yeah, it's badass. I do like the couple of times he takes out a chopper. I think is pretty sweet.
No, because he takes out one and Troutman takes out the other.
I mean, throughout the movie,
Oh, no,
Rambo takes out
you're right. Yeah,
3.
there's a couple. Yeah. But the other guy definitely takes out at least one.
Yeah. So
I can't remember if it's the one where he's coming down into the cave and the chopper crashes and it's like raining fire on him, or the one where it's always a cave and a rope, but it's the one where he pushes the guy with the grenade and he falls, snaps his neck and explodes. Like,
pretty good. I do question how that guy got up there.
he climbed the rope.
See, what's funny is that guy looked huge as shit. And then at one point when Stallone was like had his arms around him, it's like, oh, they were filming that guy to look bigger than he was because he does not look that big. I heard
No one's bigger than Rambo.
Somewhat. So in 2008, Stallone said that he fired the original director, Russell Mulcahy, because he hired third-rate models to play Rambo's Russian foes. Peter McDonald, who took it over, says actually what happened was Sly was walking through and seeing all the Russians he was going to fight and said they don't look right, and pointed out to all the guys he didn't think looked right. He pointed out every guy that was taller than him. And it was like, get them off the movie.
That was pretty good.
So yeah, I think let's just start and go through this quickly. Starts in Thailand with him working for some monks and stick fighting. That scene reminded me of like a Van Damme scene.
Or like Commando.
Correct, yeah. And then the fact that Red Foreman is just like a normal character in this
Yeah.
and is not an evil son of a bitch, I frankly I don't buy it.
But he is playing like the straight man in this. It is weird.
Yeah, like he's just a normal guy and he plays evil so well. So I was like kind of what I expected.
Well,
Or at least an asshole.
he's the bad guy in RoboCop, isn't he? Also.
He's the bad guy in a lot of things,
Well, no,
including
it's
the
funny
70s show.
because well, they would have totally pulled like a Rambo 2 if they circled back and they were like, actually, Bob secretly works with the Russian and is bad. Like that would have just been like a recycled draft of the script from Rambo 2. So they couldn't do that again. But yeah, he just played like a normal government guy. I guess you had to have him come back and tell John like, hey, he's been kidnapped. So I guess that's too bad. And then I mean, I don't know what you expect. You're like, yeah, then he's gonna go to Afghanistan and get him back.
Yeah, because he sort of has this like weird relationship with Troutman that I don't know if I was misremembering the first two, where I was like, why does he even like this guy? Like, but he feels some familial like relationship with him that he has to save him.
You're the only family I have, Rambo.
Yeah, I guess. So Troutman gets caught pretty fucking quickly over the border. The Russian Zazen loves to just like hone his plane in on people and be like, "Put your guns down, or I'll kill you. If you run away, I'll kill you. Otherwise, like I'm taking you prisoner." That's
Well,
his move.
it is funny how this is like the big bad, right?
He is. Do you, let's just get to it now because this is my favorite fun fact I've found in a movie in a while. Do you know who was originally supposed to play that role? And in fact, like read the script and made changes to the script.
Evil Russian guy.
Not
Doff?
Russian.
Oh.
Marlon Brando.
You know, I should have known Marlon when you said made changes to the script.
So he turned it down and he let the studio boss know that he turned it down because of his disdain for the Soviet Union's oppressive policy, as well as hopes for the forthcoming rapprochement between the U.S. and Soviet Union, hoping a successful accord. I don't. Does Marlon realizes that he was playing the bad guy, right? So he's like, "Oh, I hate the Soviets." It's like, so you don't want to play bad guys, or I don't understand. Like that's the bad guy. Like you're playing him as an evil son of a bitch. I think nowadays actors, I don't know. As I was growing up, like actors were like, "Oh, those are the good parts. Like those are the
I mean,
fun parts."
I would think those are the good parts. Like I would. Well, it depends, right? If you want like more steady work, you're the hero to be in the sequels. If you want an interesting part to play and a one and done sort of thing, you're the bad guy that dies at the end.
Yeah. That also Stallone in this movie just goes full Stallone, just like a vacant look the entire time. Like it feels like nothing. Like lights aren't on, no one's home up there in his skull.
Uh, that's just what you got to do if you want to act, David.
And he does play like it does play for some pretty funny laughs. So like he gets to Musa, gets all of his gear. He's like, and then Musa's like, "What are these?" He's like, "These are blue lights. What do they do? They turn blue."
Yeah. That was my favorite joke. Yeah, but you know the other thing about Stallone's approach to this role in the third movie is he doesn't play as much as he did in the last two movies as like a PTSD veteran type of role. He seems not cured, but that sort of affliction and that sort of character development doesn't really come up in this film.
I think you're supposed to get from the beginning that he has sort of been like he's become more spiritual. He's practicing with the monks, and that's maybe helping him on that end.
Oh, okay, so like the stick fighting is like an outlet for that sort of thing.
I think the stick fighting is to make money for the monks, is what they find out.
Yeah, but the way they had that conversation, it seemed like a little deeper. Like, oh, he said he was doing it for the money, And then he's like, no, I know you're not. I know that's not true because you give the money to the monks. And he kind of falls silent, like, all right, you caught me. Like, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the thrill of the fight, sort of thing.
Yeah. So, and you know what's funny is I think my knowledge of the Afghan Soviet war before this was just like how it then led to 9/11, right? Like when you heard history lessons on 9/11 or right after it happened.
Whoa, whoa.
I don't know what you mean by that. My point being is like I learned more about this conflict from Rambo 3 than I'd like ever been taught before.
I learned that the Afghans are the good guys.
They were at this time. One of one of the guys in this movie, I think Musa maybe or Masoud, they are named after one of the freedom fighters who then became like a minister in the Afghan government who then went on to like fight the Taliban.
Oh,
So anyway, you got the learned about the Mujahideen, waiting for the weapons at the border, all that. Find Yuri as a defector. Yuri does not play a big role in this. He's just like, hey, we got a defector. And he has like a couple lines and then he dies later on.
check
And then we
out.
get the sheep horse game. Apparently Stallone is like a very good horse rider. So like he's like, I need this in my, you know, in my movie. Saying show off how good I am.
You know, it's amazing too because Rambo First Blood came out in 85 and then this came out in 88. So I assume 2 came out the following year, the year before. This was like a pretty shot back to back to back sort of thing.
Probably at the time this came out, this was the most expensive movie ever made.
No way.
Yeah, like $63 million. So First Blood was 82, Part 2 was 85, and this was 88. In between, he was working so fucking much. In between Rambo 2 and Rambo 3, he made Rocky 4, Cobra, Over the Top.
It's so weird because when you watch Rambo and then you go back and you watch Rocky, it doesn't feel like the same actor.
Yeah, I mean, I think as I said, maybe it was the first Rambo, probably the first Rambo we did, that I actually think he's now kind of a caricature that doesn't really get enough credit for like the work he did. Like he's playing different characters. They both seem a little vacant, but they are different guys.
I'm very, very excited for that Sylvester Stallone biopic that's coming out
The guy
called
playing him.
I Play Rocky.
I was excited for when Rambo. It lasted too long, but when he was running to that gun to shoot one of the copters down, like they show him running for an inordinate amount of time.
I thought the coolest shot was when he's riding that horse and the explosions are happening behind him.
Yeah, also very good. And then he kills one of the copters. So then the general comes and looks for him, and then he knows he's smart enough to hide. So, and then they take survivors to the border. So he goes, but him, Musa, and the little boy go to take out this camp.
Now, Moose's pissing me off. So he sees Rocky. He sees Rambo go under the barbed wire that's like hooked up to the grenades, and he goes on his back and shuffles in. This fucking idiot goes army crawl, and his big fat fucking ass catches the
He's got
wire.
he's got that cake,
Dude.
You gotta be worried about that cake.
He has to hold the grenade closed as this fucking idiot goes under it, seemingly completely unaware of like what big of a hassle he's being now. And then the little kid comes up behind him and just perfectly goes under. I'm like, dude, take the kid and tell the other guy to fuck off.
As Musa in the beginning is like, you're not a war fighter, you're just a tourist.
Yeah, idiot.
And then the tower guard, does he see Musa or Rambo, or he just hears something? He just, I don't know, all of a sudden he's just on alert for some reason.
I find that kind of funny because so he shoots like the flare that lights up everything.
Yeah.
And at the time, Rambo's like hiding behind a building and Musa's hiding under a truck. But when they see the flare lighting up everything, that's when they decide to run out in the open. And I'm just like, you could have just stayed fucking hidden. It would have been better.
Well, and then he also rides under the tank after this.
That was cool.
And it keeps cutting from Rambo sneaking further into this prison to just people being tortured to death.
You could hear it too.
Yeah, you could. And he finds Troutman only for just all hell to break loose. The kid gets shot, he gets hit with shrapnel, and then he has to escape. The guy says call the Red Cross, at least what the subtitles of the Russian says. I assume that's like his like military guys to go down there and find him is what Red Cross meant in that scenario.
Not the American Red Cross.
Yeah, no, he's like let's get Betsy Ross out here with her help
Stretcher
us
and
out. Yeah.
your
By the way,
antiseptic.
so the kid in the village was played by Duty Shua, which is Hamid. So good job. So during one scene, Stallone couldn't remember his lines, so the kid corrected him. Apparently, shortly after this, the director was approached by some of Stallone's people who suggested the kid character be killed in the movie.
Wow. So people taller than him and smart ass little kids.
Yeah, little kids who are like, "That's not your fucking line, dumbass."
When you were talking about blank stares that Rambo gives, I kept thinking about the one at the end of the movie where the kid is like, "Am I ever going to see you again?" And Rambo's like, "Sure."
Probably not.
I'm just like, okay, that the attitude like makes sense now.
Apparently, there was a longer cut where Rambo they drive off, and then Rambo has Troutman stop, and he's like, "These are my people," and he turns around.
To live in Afghanistan?
To live in Afghanistan, he's like, "I love it here. Fucking sheep games, the women."
I don't think I saw a single woman in this movie.
There's a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that the movie after this, I believe he's in the Congo. No, I think he's in Vietnam again.
He's in some Southeast Asian country.
Yeah, so he goes to live in Afghanistan, and 20 years later, he just finds himself in Southeast Asia.
He keeps making moves. So he escapes, and then he sends Musa and the boy to Afghanistan. Oh, what a badass line. So the Russian guy goes to Troutman. He's like, "Who the fuck is this terrorist?" He's like, "We're going to go get him." And he says, "You won't have to hunt him down. He will find you." And he says, "Who do you think he is? A god?" And he said, "God would have mercy. He won't." Stallone was happy about that line if he's the one that wrote it, or he at least probably took credit for it.
Well, he co-wrote the script, so he could have. He probably did.
There was, like the last Rambo movie, there were so many fucking versions of this script that like, and then Stallone at the end was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna rewrite it."
Well, watching the trailer for I Play Rocky, he played such a hard ball and like, hey, you can have the script, but I play the main character. And then like the amount of money that was thrown at him to like just walk away from it. If that's true and he's really like that hard on production and things like that, then like I believe that there's like 50 rewrites to these like Rambo isn't badass enough. How could I make this character more badass?
Yeah, apparently the guy that wrote the novelization for Rambo 3 was like, I just kept getting sent new scripts. Like it just kept changing. So he sticks his finger directly into his body to get the shrapnel out, and then, as we said, cauterizes the wound with gunpowder.
So cool.
And then the next day, the Russians start looking for him. He's like, "Well, I'm just like, clearly you're not going to be at your base. I'm just going to go there." Kills the torturer, grabs all the prisoners, and then gets out of there. Steals the guy's jet, and then just immediately starts going down because he gets shot so much. He crashes well though. Like he saves everybody.
Yeah.
And then the people he saved are like, let's split up. He seems to be going after you, so we'll head to the border. We're good. You guys go somewhere else. And then uses an explosive arrow. I don't know I guess he got these arrows from Musa earlier. Is this?
Did he get him from there or did he get him from the base? Because
Yeah, I don't.
before the helicopter blows up or the jet blows up or whatever, Troutman's like, grab whatever you can. I'm pretty sure that was whatever he could.
Yeah. So then blows up that one, jumps down into into the hole, which is a huge fucking cave system.
I do want to mention before we go any further, at the beginning of this movie, we're introduced to Rambo with him tightening his red headband
Yeah.
with like his long hair, which I feel like that's the way that we think of Rambo. But this is the first movie that he actually looks like this.
Similar to Jason.
Yes, similar to Jason.
So he then takes the blue light with the grenades. He's like, I'm gonna use these fucking blue lights.
He
Keeps
ties it to
blowing
the
dudes up.
arrow, right? He like a normal arrow shoots the guy, which like makes the guy light up, and then all the other guys, like all the other
That's another one.
soldiers.
That's another one. But he also,
Oh, that's another one.
yeah, he kills people with like, I think he has the guy picks up the blue light and it pulls the pin on a grenade. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right. And then later he shoots the arrow with the glow stick, and which makes everyone shoot the guy with the glow stick in his body.
But as you said, the coolest death is the big fucking dude who he ties the rope around his neck. The guy is the guy, the big Russian is squeezing Stallone around the ass so hard that it is making him pass out. But he pulls the pin from his grenade, which freaks the guy up so much that he lets him go, and then he kicks him down the hole and explodes.
If that's the part that you're mad at, then I got something else.
It's nonsensical, but I'm not mad about it.
Well, here's more nonsensical.
You should have headbutted him, though, right?
Well,
Just
okay, I
headbutt.
agree with yes, I agree with that. But the other nonsensical part is when Rambo's climbing up out of the hole, right? And he's halfway out of the hole. He sees Troutman. He gives him a look. Big Russian guy's behind him. Big Russian guy grabs him by the neck and lifts him out of the hole. Why wouldn't Big Russian guy throw him back down in the hole?
Correct. Yeah, but he's also like angry. So I mean it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time.
Did you like him breaking his neck and then exploding? I think I would have liked it more if like I don't know. There's like a delay in breaking his neck and exploding. I wanted it to happen at the same time.
I mean, it sort of did. I mean, he's gonna get killed by one or the other. You
But it doesn't
can't.
really work if he explodes first and then the movie's like, don't worry, he broke his neck afterwards.
So then they're walking to the border, and the Russians are just waiting there. And I knew, I was like, the Mujahideen are going to show up, right? Like the guys on horses are going to be there, obviously.
I was like like not quite emotional, but big emotion at that scene where he's like, it's the rebels.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
that's cool.
I will say, Stallone maybe would never let it happen this way. I do think it would have been a better ending to like allow them to have more of an impact, because really they come in and are just a distraction and just like bodies dying. And then
No,
Stallone comes
I
in.
gotta kill him. I
Yeah,
gotta kill
yeah.
them all.
So like this movie is just jingoistic. It's just American. It's like coming in to save the day. That sort of cements it at the end.
Oh yeah, big time. But that's just Rambo. I mean, starting with the second one, and then especially the one after this one, I think is almost worse.
So then he crashes a tank into a helicopter to kill the guy.
But he's fine.
He's perfectly fine. And then he lets the kid keep the good luck charm from the girl that I don't know if he ever banged her in the second one, but that he was in love with after
Oh, they
meeting her.
banged.
Yeah, good. I'm glad they did. And that's it. And oh no, that's not it, because then there is like another terrible song over the credits, 3 for 3 in these movies.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
It's so bad. It's
I did like the line where he's like, I think we're getting soft. And he's like, yeah, me too. I was like, that was nice.
Did I mention the line where he gets down at the bottom with Troutman? I think we moved on, but he gets to the bottom and Troutman's like, I'm sorry I got you into this. He's like, no, you're not. And then just moves on.
Okay, if we're talking about cool lines, the other one where he's like talking about his gunpowder cauterized wound and he goes, does that hurt? and he goes, "You taught us not to feel pain." He goes, "Is it working?" And he's like, "Not really."
So it's like he does have the humor in there. It's in there. It's deep. And oh, so during filming, Stallone had a close call with a spinning helicopter blade that almost decapitated him. And then apparently Stallone laughed it off and said, "At least I've saved a fortune on haircuts." Which is like a line straight from one of these fucking movies, like a
Yeah,
Commando or a
I was gonna say that sounds like a Schwarzenegger line right
yeah.
there. I know he's in the Expendables franchise, but how big of a part does Stallone play in the Expendables? It's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's the main fucking character.
No, no, no. I know he's the main character, but I mean, is he also the director? Is he also the producer? Because I know he likes to have his hands all over a project.
So, from my memory, I think he wrote the first three. Pretty sure he directed the first one. I don't think he wrote or directed the last one, which was also terrible. So maybe that's another point in his favor. And I think the first one is probably considered the best, which he directed.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought he directed it. I knew he had his hands more, than just the main actor.
Last fun fact, the working title for this movie was Full Circle: First Blood Part 3, which is fucking terrible, and I'm glad they just went with Rambo 3.
Why full circle?
I don't know. I'm glad it
And
didn't
why
say.
not Rambo 3 full circle?
Well, it was First Blood Part 2. I mean, the first movie is not even called Rambo.
I know.
So, this Rambo 3, I mean, it is like a little bit, you're getting a little Fast and the Furious at this point where it's like none of the fucking titles have any like synchronicity at all. But
Because I think the next one is just called Rambo.
correct. Yeah, well, that was at a time when movies were coming out. Like they were rebooting everything and they were being very simple with the name. So, anyway, you had me looking up the Expendables. And so now there's a video of Jason Statham just beating the shit out of people, which is always good. I I was very happy with this movie. It was exactly what I thought could be. It was probably the best version of what I thought it could be because I had, I guess, low expectations. I'm not a Rambo guy like you are, and I do find it funny that this series, it's like the first one's good and everyone else is like, the second one's okay. The third one's shit. The fourth one, and it's like, but it seems to be a well-regarded series otherwise. It's just interesting.
I like the fourth one. I'm very interested to see your opinion about it. I mean, Rambo's badass, and childhood 14-year-old version of me will always appreciate him.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of I Finally Watched. This is David.
And this is Alon.
And I finally watched Rambo 3.